Hi, my name is Ugnus, and I decided to make this video for my future self, but also for everybody else who might be suffering the same condition that I have been suffering recently, and that is a quite painful erosive esophagitis. So I've just had an upper endoscopy about a month ago, and they told me that they can see erosion in my esophagus, and the esophagus is inflamed. And up until the endoscopy point in time, I haven't been feeling that much of a pain, but right after the endoscopy, I would say this is probably when even the instrument itself has irritated the esophagus a little bit, and I really started to feel an increasing amount of pain almost every day in my esophagus as I was eating. Right after food, an even bigger pain, and just at random times, even between meals, just the pain that would not allow me to think of anything else or concentrate on work or other things for that matter. So quite a stressful time, not understanding really what's going on, and trying to deal with the pain. So the doctors, what they did was probably they just followed the book, and they immediately prescribed me the proton pump inhibitors, omeprazole, a typical one, which I started taking. I took it for a few days, and interestingly, I didn't feel any relief whatsoever in the pain. So I decided to stop it. The only thing that actually helped me to deal with it in the very beginning was a simple pill, a chewable or a suckable, you might call it, a chewable pill that sort of is a sort of a herbal remedy for esophagus. It's made out of algae, apparently, and algae sort of coats the top of your stomach, or it starts floating. The algae starts floating on the top of the stomach liquid acid, and sort of prevents that from entering or hurting the esophagus. So that really helped. I continued on that, but since omeprazole, the PPI, was not working, I decided I have to get to the bottom of this. I have to get to the root cause, understand what's going on, and find the right diet. I had to eat after a while. I mean, I couldn't just keep eating anything that was hurting me and trying to take pain medications on top to sort of dull my pain. So that's what I did. I went through a lot of trial and error with different foods. I Googled a lot, tested out every suggestion, advice that I could find on the net, and some worked and some didn't work so much. So I've tried acid watchers diet by Dr. Aviv. I've tried some of the other diets that are typically recommended for the GERD or GORD people, the ones who are experiencing the reflux, but none of them quite made the cut. So the acid watchers diet was fine, but it was still prescribing all kinds of whole foods that when you swallow them, you still feel I would feel pain in the esophagus. While the other diets, the GERD diets, would even recommend such things as sauerkraut, apparently for the benefit of it having a lot of probiotics and helping to heal the gut overall. But then again, it would irritate the esophagus a lot by the virtue of having some acid in itself as food. So, all in all, finally Googled out the right, or typed in the right words into Google and found out about using soft diet. Soft diet for esophageal pain. And that's what it did, and that's what really started helping. I felt it immediately when eating lentil soup. It felt just so good. Nothing else had worked up until that point, but lentil soup just worked magically. I felt satisfied, full, nourished, and at the same time, it didn't hurt the esophagus as I was following it. So then I started looking into other foods that I could drink instead of chew and eat. And so for breakfast, I started making myself those famous green smoothies. And at the beginning, I made a mistake. I put in just following the acid watchers diet. I put in spinach, almond milk, and carrots, and I still got some pain, even though the smoothie was extremely well blended or pureed. And I realized it was the carrots that were causing the irritation. So I removed the carrots, added the banana, and bang! It worked as a charm. So here's the recipe for my future self if I ever get into a similar situation. For breakfast, a large green smoothie made out of a couple of cubes of ice, a lot of spinach, half a banana or a little bit more of a banana, and what else? Oh, and I started adding hemp protein, which in itself had immediate positive benefits as well. I don't know how much of the active ingredients remain in the hemp when you make protein powder out of it, but it definitely positively soothed me. It soothed the pain, and it made me calmer in general throughout the day. It has this calming effect overall. Plus, it's nutritious, right? It has some protein in it, and all the other minerals that hemp has. So, adding hemp in my morning green smoothie just made it even better. So that's for breakfast. For lunch and dinner and many sort of smaller meals in between, if the pain is severe, just do the lentil soup, which is just a lentil dal or a soup that has been cooked for half an hour or more, which makes it very soft, and definitely has some curcumin or turmeric, as it's called in its whole form, which has some anti-inflammatory properties and therefore helped me as well. So that's that. It's really going between these two foods and then adding an extra bite of a banana. Oh, and an extremely important third ingredient in this whole, or third part of this whole daily diet is a chamomile tea. I cannot begin to tell you just how soothing it is to drink some warm, not too hot, just warmish chamomile tea. And let it go down the inflamed esophagus. it just made all the difference in the world to be able to use the tea rather than constantly chewing and sucking on the pastils, the pills, with the algae that I referred to earlier. So that's that. I've had the peak of the pain a few days ago. I really doubled down on my soft diet, and now it's the first day really that I woke up and I don't feel pain in the morning. It's incredible. It's incredible to feel normal again. I wish I never forget this feeling, just how wonderful it is not to feel pain, and just feel grateful for that every day. So hope that helps anybody who's investigating or has similar issues. I'll make a separate video of how it got to the inflamed or erosive esophagus, and yeah, hope that helps somebody else to avoid similar patterns that I went through. That's it, folks. Yeah, we'll see each other in other videos.